We often find ourselves in a storm of doubt, facing forces both within and without that seek to shake the foundation of who we are. Confidence is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of our reactions to it. This is where we can draw from the ancient wisdom of the Stoics, men and women who lived in a world as chaotic as ours, yet walked with an unshakable sense of calm and purpose. Let us walk together through 10 profound lessons they have left us. Lessons not merely to be admired, but to be lived, shaping our days and our choices. These are not theoretical musings, but the hard-earned truths of those who have tasted the full range of human suffering and risen above it. Absolutely. Let's delve deeper into those key Stoic lessons and explore how they can truly transform your confidence. 1. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. At the heart of Stoicism lies the understanding that our lives are divided into two domains: things within our control and things outside of it. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, laid this out clearly. Some things are in our control and some are not. Our thoughts, decisions, and actions, these are fully within our grasp. But the actions of others, external circumstances, or even the future, these are beyond us. Most of our suffering arises when we fight against this simple truth, allowing our emotions to be tied to things we can never control. Imagine standing in a storm. You cannot command the wind to stop, but you can choose how you respond. You can panic, let the storm break your spirit, or you can stand firm, adjusting your stance, finding shelter, and waiting with calm acceptance. This is the essence of Stoic confidence, knowing that while the world around us may be chaotic, we have complete authority over our own reactions. This approach doesn't make us passive, it empowers us. By focusing on what we can control, we channel our energy and attention into the present moment, into our thoughts and actions, rather than wasting it on what we cannot change. With this clarity comes freedom, and from freedom arises confidence. 2. Embrace the struggle. In the Stoic worldview, struggles and challenges are not curses to be avoided, but opportunities to be welcomed. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about this: every hardship you face is a chance to grow stronger. The Stoics understood that the path to true confidence does not lie in a life free from obstacles, but in mastering the art of overcoming them. Each challenge refines us, sharpens our character, and makes us more resilient. Consider the metaphor of a sword being forged. It must be hammered and heated repeatedly to gain its strength and sharpness. We are no different. Every time life tests us, it is an opportunity to forge ourselves anew, to prove that we are capable of facing whatever is thrown at us. When we embrace the struggle, we are no longer afraid of failure, hardship, or suffering. We recognize these as necessary ingredients in our journey to becoming stronger, wiser, and more confident. When you adopt this mindset, setbacks stop being threats. Instead, they become stepping stones. We stop running from pain and instead lean into it. This is the path to unshakable confidence, embracing the struggle, not fearing it. 3. Silence the destructive emotions. One of the greatest enemies to confidence is the internal storm of destructive emotions: fear, anger, envy, doubt. These emotions cloud our judgment, disrupt our peace, and erode our confidence. The Stoics, however, teach us that we are not slaves to these emotions. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality often." Our emotions are not a reflection of what's truly happening, but of the distorted narratives we tell ourselves. Fear of failure, anger at those who oppose us, envy of others' successes, these are all chains we place upon ourselves. The Stoic approach to these emotions is not to repress them, but to understand them, challenge them, and ultimately transcend them. When anger flares up, ask yourself, why am I letting this control me? What power does this emotion have over my actions? When fear of failure grips you, question its validity. How often have your fears truly come to pass? The key is not to let these emotions dictate our actions. Instead, we observe them from a distance, recognizing them as passing thoughts that do not define us. The Stoics call this practice apatheia, a state of equanimity where we are not ruled by our emotional impulses. Through this process, we cultivate an inner calm that remains unshaken by external events. In silencing these destructive emotions, we create space for rational thought, self-control, and ultimately, confidence. Confidence is born not from a lack of fear or anger, but from mastering them. In essence, these three lessons form the bedrock of Stoic confidence. By controlling what we can and letting go of what we cannot, we liberate ourselves from unnecessary anxiety and focus on our inner strength. By embracing struggle, we turn life's hardships into opportunities for growth, realizing that true confidence is forged through adversity. By silencing destructive emotions, we free ourselves from the chaos within, finding the calm and clarity needed to face life's challenges with unwavering strength. These are not abstract concepts, they are practices that, when applied daily, transform us into individuals who are unshakable in the face of life's uncertainties. Confidence for the Stoic is not about arrogance or fearlessness. It is about mastery over oneself. Certainly. Let's dive deeper into these key Stoic lessons and see how they can elevate confidence and inner strength. 4. Live with purpose. One of the most profound teachings in Stoicism is the call to live with purpose. This is not just about having goals or aspirations, but about aligning every action, every decision, with a higher set of values. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, spoke of living in accordance with nature, meaning that we must live in harmony with our true nature as rational, virtuous beings. To live without purpose is to drift, to allow external forces to steer us in every direction. But when we live with intention, we become grounded. Imagine a ship lost at sea without a destination. It gets tossed by the waves, pulled by currents, constantly at the mercy of the elements. Now imagine that same ship with a clear course, a guiding star. Even in the face of storms, it presses forward with certainty, never straying from its path. We are the same. Living with purpose provides that guiding star. When our actions are aligned with a sense of purpose, we no longer need validation from others, and we are not swayed by fleeting distractions. We know where we are headed, and this clarity gives us confidence. It also shields us from regret because we can stand firm, knowing that we acted in line with our values. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one purpose is not something to be debated or put off. It is something to live by every single day. This is the secret to unshakable confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, we are living in a way that is true to who we are. 5. The power of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of Stoicism. Without it, we are at the mercy of our impulses and desires. As Epictetus stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True confidence cannot exist in a person who is ruled by their whims. It is built through the mastery of the self, our thoughts, actions, and habits. Self-discipline isn't just about resisting temptations or avoiding distractions. It's about building the ability to act in accordance with our higher purpose, even when it's difficult. The Stoics believe that virtue is cultivated through consistent effort. Just as a muscle grows stronger with regular exercise, our willpower and confidence grow through daily practice. Consider the power of a disciplined morning routine, a series of actions that you commit to every day, no matter how you feel. Each time you follow through, you strengthen your ability to act with intention rather than being driven by mood or circumstance. Over time, this builds a deep sense of confidence because you begin to trust yourself. You know that you can rely on your own strength to follow through on what you set out to do, whether it's small tasks or monumental goals. Self-discipline, therefore, becomes the key to unlocking your full potential. When you are the master of your own behavior, you no longer doubt your ability to handle challenges. This is the kind of confidence that can withstand any trial. As the Stoics teach us, it is not the external world we must conquer, it is ourselves. 6. Detach from outcomes. One of the most difficult but essential lessons in Stoicism is the idea of detaching from outcomes. We live in a world obsessed with results. Success is often measured by external achievements, recognition, or wealth. However, Stoicism teaches us that our confidence should not depend on these external markers. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoics emphasized that while we can control our efforts, we cannot control the results. By attaching our self-worth to outcomes that we cannot fully influence, we set ourselves up for disappointment and insecurity. Detachment from outcomes doesn't mean we stop striving for excellence. Quite the opposite, it means we put everything we have into our actions, but we let go of the need for a specific result. Whether we succeed or fail, we remain steady, because our confidence is grounded in the effort and intention we bring to our actions, not the approval or rewards we receive. This is liberating. When we are detached from outcomes, we are free from the fear of failure. We no longer let external circumstances dictate our sense of self-worth. If we give our best, we have already succeeded, regardless of what happens next. Seneca put it perfectly: "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not." By focusing on the process, on what we can control, we free ourselves from the anxiety and stress that come with obsessing over results. Our confidence then becomes untouchable, because it is not based on external factors, but on our own inner commitment to doing what is right. In summary, these 3 lessons deepen our understanding of Stoic confidence. Living with purpose gives our lives direction and clarity, anchoring our confidence in something greater than ourselves. Self-discipline is the foundation upon which we build our character, allowing us to act in alignment with our values, no matter the difficulty. Detaching from outcomes frees us from the chains of external validation, giving us the confidence to focus on the only thing we can control: our own efforts and actions. Together, these principles form a solid framework for living a life of unwavering confidence, a life guided by inner strength rather than external rewards. Confidence, in the Stoic sense, is about living with integrity, mastering oneself, and finding peace in knowing that we have done our best, no matter the outcome. Certainly, these 2 Stoic principles, memento mori and let go of the ego, are profound lessons that cut to the core of human existence and have the power to reshape our confidence by transforming our perspective on life itself. 7. Memento mori, remember death. At first glance, the idea of remembering death might seem dark or morbid, but for the Stoics, it was a source of immense clarity and liberation. Memento mori, or remember that you will die, is a reminder of life's impermanence. Far from being a source of fear, this realization frees us from the trivialities and anxieties that consume so much of our energy. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of this: "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. The Stoics believe that by keeping the reality of death in mind, we strip away the illusions of control and time that lead to procrastination, regret, and hesitation. Memento mori calls us to live fully and with urgency. It encourages us to ask, if today were my last, would I be proud of how I lived? When you truly embrace the inevitability of death, something remarkable happens: you stop fearing it. Fear of death is one of the most powerful forces that holds people back, whether it's fear of risk, fear of loss, or fear of failure. But the Stoics teach that death is not something to be feared, it is a natural part of life. Once you accept that your time is finite, you gain the courage to live with purpose and intensity. Remembering death also sharpens your priorities. Many of the things we obsess over, whether it's material success, status, or petty grievances, fade into insignificance when viewed through the lens of memento mori. What matters is how we live, how we treat others, and whether we embody the virtues of wisdom, courage, and justice. This kind of clarity brings immense confidence because it simplifies life. You stop worrying about the noise of the world and focus on what truly matters. Memento mori is not about death, it's about living with intensity, purpose, and a fearless heart. 8. Let go of the ego. One of the greatest barriers to confidence is our ego, the image we construct of ourselves based on external validation, pride, and our need to be admired. Ego is fragile. It craves praise, avoids criticism, and seeks to control how others perceive us. But the Stoics teach that true confidence comes from letting go of the ego, not feeding it. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The ego is constantly reacting to the world, seeking approval, avoiding embarrassment, and demanding recognition. But when we let go of the ego, we free ourselves from these chains. We stop caring about how others see us and start focusing on how we see ourselves. Letting go of the ego is about embracing humility. Marcus Aurelius, despite being the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, constantly reminded himself of his own insignificance in the grand scheme of things. "Do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to," he warned. This mindset brings liberation because it strips away the constant need for validation from others. You realize that your worth is not determined by accolades, status, or comparisons. It comes from within. When you let go of the ego, you also let go of the fear of failure. Ego fears being exposed, but a person who has detached from their ego understands that failure is not an attack on their identity, it's simply part of the learning process. Failure becomes an opportunity for growth, not a blow to self-esteem. Ego also causes us to cling to achievements and possessions, thinking that these define who we are. But the Stoic understanding of confidence is that none of these things truly belong to us. They can be taken away at any moment. What remains is our character, our actions, and our inner virtues. By letting go of the ego, we stop clinging to the temporary and find strength in the eternal. Seneca reminded us, "You are a slave to whatever you cannot part with that is not under your control." Letting go of the ego means letting go of the need to control others' perceptions, letting go of the desire to be superior, and embracing the power of humility. When you no longer need to prove anything to anyone, confidence flows naturally. You are no longer seeking approval, you are simply living in accordance with your values. In summary, Memento Mori teaches us to remember death, not as a source of fear, but as a call to live fully and without hesitation. By accepting the impermanence of life, we let go of our fear of failure and live with purpose, focus, and courage. Letting go of the ego frees us from the endless need for validation and approval. By embracing humility and detaching from external perceptions, we unlock true confidence, a confidence rooted in character, not in accolades or appearances. These lessons show us that confidence is not about projecting an image or controlling outcomes. It's about living authentically, embracing the fleeting nature of life, and grounding ourselves in what truly matters: our actions, virtues, and the legacy we leave behind. When we remember death and let go of the ego, we are free to live with the kind of unshakable confidence that no external circumstance can touch. Certainly. Let's dive deeper into the Stoic lessons of finding strength in community and act. Now, fortune favors the bold, exploring how they connect to confidence and inner strength. 9. Find strength in community. Stoicism may seem like a solitary practice, where individuals are encouraged to develop personal resilience and self-control. However, at its core, Stoicism also emphasizes the interconnectedness of all people and the strength we derive from community. Marcus Aurelius, a firm believer in this principle, reminded himself frequently that we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. To act against one another is contrary to nature. In Stoic philosophy, True confidence does not come from isolation, but from understanding our role within the larger web of humanity. The Stoics believed that humans are social beings, and it is through collaboration, empathy, and shared responsibility that we find our deepest sense of purpose. We are not meant to face life's challenges alone. We are connected to others, and by embracing this connection, we unlock a profound source of strength and confidence. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, about to take a leap. The fear of falling is overwhelming. But now, imagine a group of people standing beside you, offering encouragement, helping you prepare, reminding you of your strength. Suddenly, the leap seems less terrifying because you are not alone. Finding strength in community is similar. Knowing that others are walking the same path gives us the courage to face adversity with greater confidence. The Stoics believe that engaging with others, offering help, and receiving support in turn is a way to cultivate virtue. Community gives us accountability, helping us live with purpose. It gives us the chance to learn from others and share wisdom. Epictetus said, "What you would avoid suffering yourself, seek not to impose on others." In this way, Stoicism teaches us the golden rule of treating others with respect and empathy, not because we expect something in return, but because we recognize that we are all part of the same human experience. True confidence is not about going through life alone. It's about knowing that you belong to something greater than yourself. It is through community that we are reminded of our strengths, supported in our weaknesses, and able to act with courage and purpose. The Stoic belief in shared humanity creates a solid foundation for building confidence. We draw strength not only from our own resilience, but from the bonds we share with others, knowing that we do not walk this path alone. 10. Act now, fortune favors the bold. One of the greatest obstacles to confidence is hesitation, the fear of acting, of taking risks, and of stepping into the unknown. But the Stoics emphasize the importance of bold action. This principle is summed up in the phrase "fortune favors the bold," a belief that opportunities arise when we take decisive steps forward rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Seneca encapsulated this idea when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." To act boldly means to take responsibility for your life, to embrace the uncertainties of the future, and to trust in your own strength and ability to adapt. The Stoics understood that waiting for ideal circumstances to act is an illusion. There is no perfect moment. Time is fleeting, and the longer we wait, the more we succumb to doubt, insecurity, and regret. Acting now is not about recklessness, but about having the confidence to seize opportunities when they appear, even in the face of uncertainty. Epictetus taught that the only thing we control is our actions, not the outcomes. This Stoic perspective teaches us that it is better to take bold action and face the consequences than to live in the paralysis of inaction. We must stop fearing failure and start embracing the idea that progress is made through effort, mistakes, and adjustments. Confidence grows from action, not from waiting, thinking, or dreaming. Picture a warrior standing before battle. He has prepared, sharpened his sword, and trained his body and mind. But at some point, he must step onto the field. Hesitating or waiting for the perfect moment will only rob him of victory. In the same way, our victories in life come when we step forward boldly and take action, despite the uncertainties. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it, but once you know what is right, you must act immediately. This is the Stoic call to boldness. There is no time to waste in indecision, no time to wait for the approval of others. Each moment wasted is a moment lost. This sense of urgency fuels confidence because when we take action, we build momentum, and with momentum comes belief in our own power to effect change. Fortune favors the bold because those who dare to act are the ones who shape their own destiny. Confidence is born in the act of doing, not in passivity, but in embracing challenges head-on. In summary, finding strength in community teaches us that true confidence comes not from isolation, but from the support, encouragement, and shared wisdom of those around us. We are social beings, and by leaning into the bonds of community, we find courage to face challenges and live with purpose. Act now fortune favors the bold reminds us that hesitation is the enemy of confidence. Bold action, even in the face of uncertainty, builds momentum and belief in our ability to shape our own future. The Stoics teach us that there is no perfect moment to act, the time is now. Together, these principles call us to step beyond fear, to embrace the strength found in others, and to seize the present with courage and conviction. Confidence for the Stoic is not passive, it is built through connection, action, and the fearless pursuit of what is right, here and now. These lessons are not abstract ideals, they are tools forged in the fires of real human experience. When we embody these Stoic principles, we rise above the chaos of life, walking with the quiet, unshakable confidence that only comes from mastering the self. We do not chase after empty fame, wealth, or the approval of others. Instead, we focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, our virtues, and we trust that in doing so, we have all the confidence we need to face the world. Together, we walk this path shoulder to shoulder. We are not perfect, but we are relentless in our pursuit of self-control, fortitude, and the destruction of destructive emotions. Now is the time to take these lessons to heart. We are more powerful than we think. We are Stoics,